What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction video. In this one we have how Britain built its top secret MI6. I guess in this would be, since I'm American, I'll put it as the equivalent to America's CIA, I believe. Before we dive into this video, if you guys happen to enjoy it, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and let's learn about MI6.
How do you keep a building secret? Maybe you find an undercover location hidden away from prying eyes. Or do you design something that blends in, the kind of place you might walk past without thinking twice? And who do you keep that building a secret from? Can you even keep it a secret from the people who built it? And can you really keep anything under wraps when it's the home of this guy?
The name's Bond.
James Bond.
James Bond.
The building behind me is not just the London office of the world's most famous secret agent. It's also the real-life headquarters of SIS, Britain's secret intelligence service, better known to the rest of the world by its nickname, MI6. The building is a secure, cutting-edge fortress, but its predecessors have often been the exact opposite. And the story of how the service ended up here says a lot about how it's evolved. This is how Britain built its spy headquarters.
I absolutely love this. I'm getting as a kid, I had the Nintendo 64, and I'm getting a 007. You feel me? That James Bond. That's fire. That's fire. I love it. I love it. That's so cool of an intro.
Vauxhall Cross, to give the building its proper name, is a monumental edifice of espionage. Its imposing imperial design is kind of the modern face of the iconic service. But it's actually come a really long way from SIS's more humble origins.
Before Vauxhall Cross, SIS stayed true to its motto of always secret by simply hiding in plain sight. In 1909, according to the brass plaque on the exterior, this building was the office of Messrs Raisin Falcon Limited, shippers and exporters. Only a select few were aware it was actually the headquarters of SIS founder Sir Mansfield Cumming. Cumming was a workaholic with a long legacy. He signed his name C and wrote exclusively in green ink, a tradition which continues for the head of the service to this day. He was also...
Why is it... I know it got to be, but I know it got to be something behind the green ink. I need to know why green ink, why green. It's gonna bother me. So I know one of you guys know. Let me know in the comment section. But I love how secretive it is. Like, nobody knew it. That was the SIS headquarters except the people that worked there.
So obsessive about secrecy. In 1919, when he moved his office to this townhouse in West London, visitors were first instructed to go to an office 6 kilometres away on the Strand, where they were then given the address. He even tried to keep the location from his boss, the Director of Military Intelligence. SAS continued the practice of renting commercial office space under a false name for the next few decades. But as the Cold War dawned, the limitations of that approach quickly became apparent.
In 1964, the service was preparing to move out of this building in the exclusive St James area of West London, where it had been posing as the MI6 Fire Extinguisher Company. Much to the horror of the service, the current landlord started showing round prospective tenants before they'd moved out. On one day, a so-called Russian trade delegation came through, prompting frantic covering up of maps and other material.
Later that year, the service moved south of the Thames and rented the newly built Century House. This is how the building appeared then, but in 2001 it was refurbished and turned into residential flats.
The new HQ wasn't much better. At a time when the existence of the service was still officially denied by the British government, the occupants of Century House were widely known. The Daily Telegraph even quipped that it was London's worst kept secret, known to every taxi driver, tourist guide and KGB agent.
So they had to move it again, god dang it. This was an absolutely awful place and everybody knew about it. And I guess as time went by, it just became harder and harder to hide for them. At some point, everybody was just gonna know where you at. So just gonna have to pick a building and stick with it.
But it wasn't just the building's identity that was an issue. It had large glass windows that were perfect for snooping, and a petrol station at its base, making it the perfect target for an attack.
Now, before we go any further, if you want to be a top secret super spy, you'll need a good grasp of problem solving, and you're more likely to pick up a pencil than an exploding pen. Luckily, there's a fun and easy way to build your skills. The best part of all, it's free.
We're gonna skip the sponsorship.
Subscription. Each of these headquarters reflected a different part of the service's history. The clandestine offices of the embryonic service, the exclusive Broadway house that housed the service's Oxbridge graduates and minor aristocrats through World War II and the 1950s, and Century House, the dysfunctional HQ of a ramshackle organisation riddled with double agents, best summed up in John le Carré's Carla trilogy. By the 1980s, the building had become completely compromised. A 1985 report labelled Century House irredeemably insecure, and the hunt began for replacements. But where to go next? As the service looked for new premises, most options were ruled out because of the need to share the space with shops, restaurants, or private accommodation. Any location outside London was ruled out because of the distance from other government agencies. Then, out of the blue, a solution was put forward. In 1987, Regalian Properties plc approached the government, offering them the chance to acquire a proposed development on the south bank of the Thames. The government quickly agreed, but the intended occupants were kept top secret.
I had no idea I was building MI6. I was told it was at government headquarters, and we guessed wrongly, very early on, that it was for the Department of the Environment. The building was finished and handed over, and I was watching television, and on the screen, the British have announced that this is the headquarters of MI6.
That's crazy. They thought they was building the Department of the Environment, right? He said, no clue I was building MI6, but god dang it, that's an amazing building. That thing's huge.
But how do you keep a massive new spy headquarters secret from the people who are actually building it? A National Audit Office report published back in 2000 shed some light on this.
To avoid any future embarrassment with a landlord, the decision was quickly taken to buy the building outright for a price of £135 million. But even this nearly let the cat out of the bag. Government-funded projects are usually paid in instalments throughout construction, with each payment offering a chance for public scrutiny. Instead, the Treasury arranged for the payment to be made in full before construction started. The property developer Regalian would then design and construct the building to a standard office specification with the addition of some specialist equipment, such as emergency generators and a document lift. This was, remember, still the 1980s. Once the main construction phase was completed, a further £10 million was spent fitting out the building to required standards. The same project managers and construction teams were kept on to complete this, with SIS itself then coming in to complete the most secret tasks ahead of the building's opening in 1994. So, the question you've all been waiting for: what do you actually get in a top secret headquarters? Well, as you might expect, most of that is actually top secret.
But here's what I thought he was going to say. I thought he was going to be like, well, I don't actually know, because it's all kept under wraps. It's all kept a secret, which will make sense for a top secret headquarters for you to not know what's going on in there.
Do know. The building itself is a fortress. 25 different types of glass were used to meet the specific needs of this structure. Its triple glazed windows and stone exterior is bomb and bulletproof. Extra thick doors were specially designed to make the perimeter as secure as possible. Inside the complex, there's rumoured to be a shooting range, ultra-secure areas where eavesdropping is impossible, and a Faraday cage which blocks incoming radio waves. In a Financial Times interview, a spy said how employees are instructed to turn off all mobile phones long before they get in the building.
In other words, pretty secure. But there's just one more thing. Isn't that supposed to be a secret? If hidden payments and minimal subcontractors were this triumph of clandestine bureaucracy, then failure lay in hiring one of Britain's most famous architects to design a massive building right on the River Thames. Well, by this point, change had become inevitable. As the Cold War ended and the service continued to evolve, the construction of the new headquarters was seen as an opportunity to create a new, more public face for the service. Prime Minister John Major pledged to sweep away the cobwebs of secrecy surrounding Britain's spy services. When the new headquarters was completed, it was named SIS HQ, but that was actually the first time the British government had ever officially even acknowledged the existence of SIS.
Dang.
Ultimately, we'll never know what really goes on over there in Vauxhall Cross. But what this story shows us is the power of a building to shape the organisation within it.
That's an incredible building.
This video was sponsored by Brilliant. You can learn more about that at the link below.
Skip on the sponsor. Yeah, that's incredible architecture there. And yeah, I guess you'll never truly, unless somebody who worked in there came and said what they do in there, you'll never truly know how it operates or every single thing that is going on in there. But yeah, in today's age, secrecy is out the window. You got to be upfront and honest with the public nowadays, even though secrecy is probably still there. There's probably still plenty of stuff that they do that the public has no clue about or will ever have any clue about. But I think it's really interesting, this entire video of how Britain built MI6, how it moved from building to building to building, and then how the architecture himself didn't even think he was actually building SIS. He thought he was building the Department of Environment, or is that what he said? That's really cool. But that's all we have for this video. You guys let me know what you think. Also, if you enjoyed that, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and check out the next video. See you guys next time.